Hey everybody, my name is Malin Johnson. Today I wanted to talk to you about diabetes. Diabetes is affecting millions of people worldwide. Mostly in Western cultures, the CDC reports that 10% of Americans have received a diagnosis or they're predisposed to diabetes, which means they're on the path of getting that diagnosis. Now listen, I love anything sweet. I love food in general. It doesn't matter who made it, where it came from, I'm going to eat it. Now I know you can't tell from this cheerleading body, but I'm able to burn a lot of those calories before it ends up on these hips. It's probably because I'm a firefighter paramedic and my job is physically demanding. I'm constantly on the go in a 24-hour shift. And outside of work, I'm still required to maintain that physical level. That's important to me. It's important to myself as a whole. And it's also important to the patrons in which I serve. But society has told us to eat better options. A lot of people don't know what those options are. I have the option of cake and carrots. Of course, I'm going to choose cake over carrots any day of the week. But are those food choices going to eventually catch up with us? We're starting to see that. Now, the big question is, what have we done to get to this point? Well, we start with lack of exercise and food choices, and we put them into a basket and add a little bit of time, and we end up with the results that we're starting to see today. So let's start with exercise. What have we done to this point? 40, 50 years ago, our jobs were physically demanding, a lot more than they are today. If we look at careers today, a lot of people are sitting around still working, probably working hard or just as hard, but it's all online. Communications are emails and phone calls. A lot of projects are done on the computers and sent away, and we're becoming stagnant at work. You take that stagnant and you bring it home, television. We have a lot more options on TV, so we continue to sit until it's time to go to bed, and then we sleep for however many hours. Take the lack of exercise and we add in the food. Food is a personal choice, but if you take what options we have available, families are running out of time. There's not enough time in the day to do a whole lot of anything. So it's easier to pick up fast food. You can buy a lot more for a lot less. You don't have to come home and cook anything and clean anything. You don't have to worry about a menu to try to find healthier options. And over the course of time, I think it's starting to catch up with us. So the big question is with diabetes is, where are we starting to see it? Well, we're starting to see it in younger members. The age range is actually starting to lower. The diabetes diagnosis you start to see in 35 to 45-year-old patients. Now, you take that and you also take the debilitating disease of diabetes. As a paramedic myself, I'm starting to see that most of the patients that I run have a diagnosis of diabetes. Now, I may not be running them for that specific disease, but it was part of their diagnosis from the beginning. Now, it predisposes you to a laundry list of medical conditions to include heart disease, blindness, and even cancer. So we look at it as a whole and we combine it with a little bit of time, and we're starting to see this big incline in this diagnosis. So what can we do about it? Well, for some of us, it may be too late to want to change, but we need to start early as we can. Preschool age. We need to implement dietitians within our school systems to link with the faculty, come together, and formulate a plan that's better food options for kids. We need to bring back physical activity in the school systems. A lot of classes, stagnant begins in the classroom. Recesses are shorter. There's not a lot of stuff that these kids are doing physically, and when they get home, they go right to the television or video games. There's a lot less kids playing outside than there were 20, 30 years ago. So you take those, you combine them together, and you say, well, what about the family dynamic of it? Well, the children, if we start educating at an early age, can bring that home and start asking and forcing their parents to do a little bit more. We're starting to see a rise in family activities, fun runs, and turkey trots, and 5Ks. That needs to continue. And it's important that we bring the family together in those And over the course of time, hopefully, we'll start to see that rise start to decline. Thank you very much. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask.